Hey, que Pasa Calexico. Welcome back to the podcast. Today we're in a new location. Today we're here at 900 West Birch, Suite 7. And this is going to be the new location for the rebirth of TacoMex. Mm-hmm. And I'm here with one of the owners,
Martin
Arellano Jr, right?
Yes.
Sí, sí, porque I know your dad is Martin, and I remember him from the old TacoMex.
Yeah.
Before we started recording, we've been talking about the history of the many places TacoMex has been in, what your parents are doing now with Birria Red. But before we get into the new TacoMex and all these businesses or food businesses your parents have been part of, and as you and your family, because you've been telling me that you were helping them all this time when you were growing up, and even after you left and did your own thing, you were in the food business. Tell us a little bit about growing up here in Calexico, what you remember of when your parents started to get into this type of business.
Yeah, for sure. So what I remember since I was a kid, the restaurants was always a thing and an everyday thing in life. So TacoMex was invented in 1992 by my parents, Martin Arellano and Adriana Arellano. But since we were kids, me and my sisters always support, help out, cutting onions, cutting tomatoes, serving people while we were growing up, But I always fell in love with their concept of that taqueria, Mexicali style taqueria, and it was good for Calexico because even now people like, oh, we don't have to cross all the way to Mexicali, the line and all that. So I think it was a good idea reopening the same concept that my parents had before, bring it back to life, a lot of fans where I remember growing up used to always visit the restaurants, Calexico and El Centro and all that. But growing up with TacoMex was a very cool experience because when I went to culinary school, I wasn't, starting fresh, from zero. Mm-hmm. I already had knife skills, what was different kinds of vegetables and all that you get taught, at school. But it was a big training for me, till now as a kid.
And a lot of people, when their parents, have a business that's like restaurant business, growing up, they really don't want to do it.
Right.
What kind of made you want to, do it as a career?
It was something I already, I thought I can handle. It came easy to me, not hard. I never saw it as a job, as work. I was saw it I still see it now, playing with food, as having fun while you work, but not waking up oh, I have to go to work. I do like it, I like the restaurant experience, all that stuff, the cooking, customer service, but yeah, it was just a big change every year when TacoMex was happening back then,
You mentioned that because I remember obviously the food truck was, the TacoMex food truck was something that we kind of all grew up with, especially during our high school years.
Yeah.
But I remember the other location was the one that was kind of where GNC is at.
Yes, by Walmart next to, yeah.
But you mentioned that there was there's been many locations.
Yeah, before those, my parents opened in Heber. They opened another location over there by Garcia Food Market back then, by the plaza. They had El Centro on 4th Street. They had one. What else? Another one in Calexico. I was very young back then. I was 3 years old, probably 4 years old when that was going on. But many spots that people just saw the logo of TacoMex and they're boom, they reopened again. So it was just changing spots in years, 5 years here, 6 years here. But the first one in 1992 was on 2nd Street. That was when it all began.
Where was it in 2nd Street?
Where the old what's the address on that? It's on 2nd Street and Beach Street. I think. Beach
Okay,
and,
where the police was at?
yeah, that's the same spot. Same
okay,
spot.
that was a taco.
Yeah, that was the first restaurant that was on that building was TacoMex, 1992.
Oh wow! I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Because I got here in 1990, and 1992 I was still too young. I was
Yeah,
probably
for sure.
like 10. Yeah, so
Super
I
young.
remember that. So you we were talking earlier, and you mentioned that after high school you left to Texas, but between that you went to culinary school.
Yeah, I was in San Diego. I went to SDCI, San Diego Culinary Arts Institute. I was there. I worked for 4 years at the U.S. Grand Hotel after I graduated school, and then I started moving like a lot in the like hotel industry, in San Diego, L.A. They used to change me spots all the time. I was like 20, 21 years old back then. Then I came back to Calexico, and I started working at TacoMex with my parents, the one that was next to Walmart GNC.
Okay.
That was there, and then after that, like our contract was over. I think it was like 5 years at that spot, and then we just didn't continue the contract. We just pulled out. That's when TacoMex stopped. And then my parents, they did something else like for work, income. And then they came back with La Birria Red tacos, like 7 years ago, almost.
Okay, so yeah, and right now for those of you that don't know, can't put a face to the address we mentioned earlier. Right now we're right next to Birria Red here in Calexico, and you're right next to it, so they kind of share a
Dining room.
Yeah. So I just wanted to mention the address and where we're at right now. But going back to the hotel, you always worked in the kitchen area.
Yeah,
and all that.
Yeah. I was a chef in San Diego at the U.S. Grand Hotel, working for Starwood Hotel. So they used to like change me and travel all over California with the same companies of the hotels, different brands, same company.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And then you ended up in.
I came back to Calexico, and then I went to Mexico City to live for 3 years, and then I went to Texas for like 11 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know what? And right now, before we start recording, I kind of wanted to pick up that accent. You have an accent in Spanish.
Yeah.
And it's from
Mexico.
You picked it up from over there?
Probably, yeah. I lived there for 4 years in Cuernavaca, Morelos. That's where my kids live. But you pick it up real quick. Yeah, even though you don't want to.
Yeah, because I went to Mexico for like 5 days, and there's certain like tones that you pick up. Yeah, and I was like, man, I remember you growing up in Calexico, and I don't remember you like talking with that accent.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, now I put it.
It's stuck forever.
Yeah, yeah. So then, how did you end up in? Because we were talking, you ended up in Texas, and then you.
So I used to have a sports bar in Cuernavaca, Morelos, called the Rocky Sports Bar and Grill. I sold it. I lasted like 5 years with that, a restaurant bar, and then I moved to Texas, San Antonio, and then the plan was to open a food truck in San Antonio. And then there was no Baja food, no fish tacos, nada. Different, very Tex-Mex, different food. But it's good, different, So I was the only fish taco spot to eat in all San Antonio. So once I opened, I got invited to a food truck festival. It was like 50 food trucks all over the U.S. and I got the first place. Oh, wow. So after that, it was just busy every day, nonstop. Then I had to get another truck. Then I had to buy another food truck. So I had 3 at the moment, and it was just business meetings, business company gatherings, all over caterings, very busy. So after that, my dad was like telling me all the time, "Hey, come to the valley, come back to the valley." Every father in Calexico tells the kids, right? Come to the valley. Let's open a birria in El Centro. It's doing good in Calexico. So I'm like, I got my own little thing going on with the food trucks over here. I'm busy, but he's like, think about it, And I thought about it. I was like, all right, let's do it. See what happens. What's the worst that can happen, right? I can always come back, right? Mm-hmm. So I did it. It happened, and we opened in El Centro, the birria. But I told him that the only The only reason I would go, like the only thing, if we reopen TacoMex, like after we do the Birria in El Centro, right? So it's here now. We did it. A lot of work.
Where do all like the recipes and el sazon? Where is it?
That's all my dad. Yeah, all my dad. The dishes. This new TacoMex. We kept the original ones that people used to love, like the surf and turf burrito, the carne asada burrito, the tripa tacos, carne asada fries. People used to like. That was the people's favorites, right? So. We also add some new stuff to the menu, more modernized, more like hype, more things that are, new food that's going on around restaurants, the style, so like the molcajetes, all those are pretty new on the menu, and it's like cool because it's different, and it was never on the menu, but it's very similar to what was before on the menu. That's so it combines the new and the old. That's what I'm saying.
And that's something that that you kind of wanted to bring in, or something that you...
Yeah. So, modernize more than everything, a fresh look, a fresh menu, new stuff, playing with the old menu and the new, and me and my dad just work fine with that. We just click on everything that we put on the menu this time.
You guys had your soft opening
this past weekend. Friday. Yeah, Friday was good. Saturday was pretty cool. Then Sunday we had the Mexico USA game, and we had a full bar. It was a very good start for the first weekend. And
it's something that we haven't mentioned. Before TacoMex never had a bar, right?
No, we served beer, but never had a bar. So there's also a new stuff, added to the restaurant.
Because you do have a bartender that it's not only like...
Right. We have bartenders and servers. We have the cooks. We have people prepping in the back, cleaning people, everything.
You've been in the food business for a long time. I worked at Applebee's for like 5 years.
That's where I know you from. Probably. I've seen you. I think I saw you before, but maybe it's Applebee's for sure.
Probably, yeah, because I was there 5 years.
I go all the time.
And I know what it is to kind of be on the line and
pressure,
the prepping, and something that people kind of don't understand is consistency when it comes to like food is really important.
Yes.
How do you keep an eye on your other cooks to make sure that they're staying on top of your...
I'm always trying to be on top of the cooks, on top of the servers. Like, how do you greet a person? How do you gotta go clean up? The plate's done, pick it up, stuff like that. With the cooks, before we opened on this past weekend, I was training them for like 7 days, past 7 days. Training. This is how it's gonna look. This is how it's gonna be. Taste it, try it. They need to know every flavor of what they're cooking. That's very important also. Always. Training, that's how I've been keeping up with these guys. They've been good. I've been delivering every dish how it's planned. What else? I'm always in the kitchen, or you're everywhere here on a restaurant, right? If you're like the head of the personnel, you're everywhere. But kitchen is very important for me. A very, very key point to everything has to look good. Everything, like the food needs to be warm.
Yeah, because a lot of times,
all that.
Yeah, a lot of times you eat with your eyes first.
Right. Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, presentation is key.
Always key. Everything has a garnish. All our drinks have a garnish. We put olives on the drinks. Green apple on the green apple drink. Cherries on the red drink. Playing around with a lot of garnish. So garnish super important always. Yeah.
Hey guys, sorry for the interruption, but I want to take this time to thank my sponsors. I really want to thank my longtime sponsors, my friend Camilo Garcia, Eddie Lopez from Cultivating Ideas, and my friend Jake. And finally, this year's new sponsor, the Valley's champ, Gil Rebollar. Thank you so much for sponsoring the podcast. I truly appreciate your sponsorship. And if you want to become a sponsor, you can go to anchor.fm/Que Pasa Calexico. Hit the support button in the middle of the page, and you can sponsor the podcast for 99 cents to up to $10 a month. Your sponsorship helps the podcast look and sound better, and it also helps reach out more people by doing paid promotions. And I'll leave a link in the description of today's show so you can easily find the website where you can sponsor the podcast. And now back to the show. You know, you were talking about being working in a hotel and in a restaurant, and then you were food trucks, and now you're like kind of like a smaller restaurant.
Right.
When you were in the hotel business, were you ever, also in charge of from the house, or was it only
just kitchen? Yeah, banquet kitchens and the restaurant. There was like 4 kitchens in that hotel. Crazy, always busy, but you get a lot of experience from a hotel. A hotel is always busy. When there's banquet events on weekends, it can be a Wednesday and the restaurant's packed. You just get like super practice every day. So that taught me a lot over there in San Diego. It was just like practicing every day. Every day was busy at restaurant, and the banquets always like 4,000 people, 2,000 people. So it teaches you how to work with speed, work with persistence, the finesse and all that. That it just they keep on top of you always. Very strict chefs I had.
Yeah. And thinking about hotels and then food trucks. Food trucks are
different.
Because your work area is like super limited
space. You can run out of water if you don't know how. If you don't visualize how to use the water right. You can have a flat tire going to an event. Your truck can break down. I tell everybody a food truck is super harder than a restaurant because you just you can sell out. And that's it. No more space for like cooling and cooking, all that. But it's fun, man. I love the food truck business. It's crazy, super crazy. I used to go to a lot of events in Austin and San Antonio that there was like 60,000 people, 40,000 people. I had to get rooms for the workers that were, working with me all the weekend. Festivals, music festivals, crazy. It's fun.
How do you prep how do you take, food for so many people?
So we used to pack the food truck, everything, everything on ice, everything on the coolers. I had my pickup truck behind the driver. We were driving to Austin, let's say, and all my truck was packed with ice chest, fish, shrimp, carne asada, everything just to like have extra because you sell out quick. If you have a line and that line doesn't stop, it's just crazy. You'll sell out.
Yeah.
Easy.
I mean, I can only imagine if like I said, I worked at Applebee's and like there was like always like the Mother's Day rush.
Yeah.
When it was like packed and like nonstop.
Crazy.
I mean, I can imagine like being in a festival is like 20, 30 times more than.
It's so much pressure, so much stress, but you become like addicted to that, man.
Honestly,
yes.
Yeah.
I love it.
That's something that I kind of miss of, when I used to work in the kitchen was, that seeing the screen where it's like full and then like
all the tickets.
You're deleting stuff and like trying to remember what you deleted so that you don't forget about it. But yeah,
it's fun.
It is a rush that, I don't know.
It's not for everybody.
Yeah. And I can't explain, I don't know. There's something like, when I think about it, it's like, it's kind of like a drug. Like you're like, man, it's.
See. It's like, it's not for everybody. Like I said, people can't handle, so much pressure, so much stress. I've seen people having anxiety attacks in the kitchen. It's crazy. And it happens everywhere, you know, but, I like it. It's for me, I guess, it's like a drug. It's like, like a rush, that you get. It's addicting.
Yeah. I think my first year, I kind of, did get anxiety. I remember like sometimes like I wouldn't want to go back to work.
Yeah.
I was like, no, it's fucking crazy. Like I don't want to go back.
Yeah.
But then towards, I was there like, honestly, like when I first started, I was like, I'm only going to do it for like a year or two. And then I ended up doing I ended up doing it for 5 years.
See.
And like towards the end, just because of management, like I ended up quitting, but I mean, I didn't really need the job at that point. But I still kind of, at a certain point, I enjoyed,
the experience, all that.
Yeah, and then the the teamwork, the people I worked with, I'm still really good friends with all those people, and just those experiences that you have, working on the line.
It becomes like a family in the kitchen, right? Mm-hmm. Always.
Yeah, for sure. How did you go about making the decision to open an actual bar in the restaurant?
So I thought like Calexico needs a lot, more spaces to, more spots to go out, have fun, go out to eat. If you like, go out, have a beer, have a drink. I think it's a great start. This spot that is very fresh, new. Another space to come and hang out. People go to Mexicali or go to El Centro. It's fine, it's cool, but in the end, if you go to Mexicali, like all the money is staying in Mexicali, not in the valley, not the locals. So that's another key that I see. But just another spot to hang out. I think Calexico will grow one day at like people want it to grow. More businesses, more retail, all that. But yeah, I decided to open a bar, so we can have another option, not just food. There's drinks, there's beer, we have caguamas, cubetas, the seltzers that people are drinking now, sports on the TVs, music videos, menu pictures on the TVs, and all that.
How do you we talk about going to Mexicali for tacos here in Calexico? There's really
there's not too many spots, not too many spaces. Some people don't like to go to Mexicali. I love to go to Mexicali. I love to go eat out there. But people just don't go. Some people don't go, and there's a lot of people that go. But some people have Sentry. Some people don't have Sentry. That's another thing. But,
especially like this weekend there was like a 3-hour line to come back on Sunday. So I mean, for me, like there's a lot of variety in Mexicali. So, there's Chinese food, there's
it's awesome.
Japanese. There's a lot of you could go eat anything you want in Mexicali. But there's sometimes like when you want like a taco or that you don't want to
be close to home and not leave the country.
Yeah, exactly.
Just there, right? But
and your parents did a good job at kind of like with the birreria. There was really no other
birreria, right? And it's till now it's crazy. They started that concept because it was like a new hype, birria, the birria ramen, the quesabirrias. That was like the new stuff on Instagram that people used, like TikTok. You see it everywhere still. But they told me, I was in Texas working. They told me, hey, what do you think? We want to open a birreria, with the quesabirrias. I'm like, do it. It's a hype right now. It's now or never. It's now the time. So they did it, and they've been killing it, man. It's crazy.
Because
Central and here it's crazy.
You see like on their Instagram, like, oh no, we sold out, like we're close, we sold out. Like,
El Centro, this new location that we opened almost 2 years ago. Well, it's almost years ago. It's blew up, man. Every day, every morning, it's busy. Weekends, it's the time we sell out crazy. On Saturday and Sunday, that's when we prep like triple from like what we prep like on weekdays, and it's still out. Everybody just people are hungover. People they went out last night and all that. They want something like that to like back to life. Come back to life. But people liked it. People of course they know not everybody, right, but a lot of people like they familiarize TacoMex with La Birreria because they knew us from back then. People, old customers from back then. You see, I met people this weekend that they're like 25 years old, 30 years old, and they're like, when I was a kid, my parents used to take me to the TacoMex over there. I'm like, so that's pretty cool. Listen to those little stories, and they remember stuff like from the menu I used to eat. So
and I think it's really cool that your parents have kind of been like a staple when it comes to like food here in Calexico.
For sure.
And because other than the hot dogs and probably Rosas,
right?
This is like the three of the restaurants that have been in Calexico.
Right, like the originals, right? You could say, for sure. Yeah, it's the long time, a lot of work, man. My parents have been working for a long time. And I see your dad, and he looks like Sam. I don't know how he works in like the food industry and like not look like
He's tired all the time.
Right. Yeah, he's very energetic. You know, he works out. You know, he likes all that. He needs to, he says, or else he's gonna like collapse one day. But yeah, he's always like on action since the morning, 5 in the morning. He wakes up 5 in the morning. He comes to the restaurants with the birria. They cook the birria overnight, so he comes and turns it off and starts, you know, gathering the employees and everything, getting everything ready for service every day.
So, what do you want to tell the people of, you know, Imperial Valley, Mexicali, you know, about?
Come visit. I'm pretty sure you're gonna like it. You know, it's a very cool spot. I think we did a great job with my friends that painted the murals. The floor is pretty cool. We have a big garden wall with huge TVs. A lot of selection of beers. You know, micheladas, chabelas. A lot of tacos, different stuff on the menu. You can check out the menu on Instagram. There's a link that's the QR code. They can click on the link and you can see all the drink menu and the food menu.
Okay, and on Instagram is
TacoMex 760
okay.
760.
Yeah. What is something that you would recommend, like for somebody that
like new people coming?
Yeah.
Try the molcajetes. That's pretty new. The chicharrón molcajete, the tripitos molcajete is pretty cool. I love it. People have liked it a lot. You know, something new, very fresh, good appetizer. The tacos de carne asada for sure. Tacos al pastor. We have the trompo every day, rotating. What else? Burrito, surf and turf burrito. That's a classic from back then. We did just a little twist, you know. We put the chipotle sauce on the burrito inside, and like we saute it in a pan. We have the California burrito. It's pretty awesome too. The chilitos güeritos rellenos, and the drinks. The drinks are pretty cool. We're working with beatbox this time, and we're doing beatbox drinks, cocktails. So that's pretty cool.
Any special drink that you would recommend?
Yes, try the Harley Quinn.
Harley Quinn.
that was pretty good.
Okay.
Yeah.
And just so you know, you grill the carne asada.
Yes.
Every morning outside on is it
charcoal?
Charcoal.
Yeah, carbon. We do carne al carbon every day outside. That's your daily carne asada that we're gonna serve here every day. Fresh. We cut our meat, we marinate our meat, and then we grill it. Then we dice it.
So you marinate your own meat?
Yes. We do the whole process from 0 to 100.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You slice it too, or?
Yeah, we slice it. All our it's on bulk, and then we have a slicer in the back. We slice it. We marinate. We grill. We bring it back in because we grill outside. We bring it back in the kitchen, and then we dice all the carne asada.
Okay. Any difference between like buying it already sliced and slice it on your?
We try to make everything from scratch. You know, the salsas are we made here. The guacamole is made here. The marinades from the pastor and the marinade from the carne asada, it's all here. So we try to give it our own kind of taste. You know, buying it sliced, buying it non-sliced. There's a little price difference, not too crazy, but we rather buy our like the bulk and then slice it our own size, like we want it sliced.
Oh, yeah, the thickness.
Yeah,
okay.
The thickness for sure.
So, as of right now, the business hours is going to be Wednesday through Sunday.
Yes, closed Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. We open from 4 to 11, and then Friday, Saturday, 4 to 12 midnight, and then Sunday we're gonna start opening from noon to 10 p.m. Well, that's our schedule for right now. But next week, our times are gonna be changing.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll post it on Instagram and Facebook for sure.
Okay. And I did want to before we wrap it up, I want to talk about the murals. So you can shout out your friends, because I think it's cool that you have 3 different murals done by 3 different of your friends.
Yeah, they're all from Mexicali. So very good friend of mine, Star 27. He did murals in La Birria El Centro and Calexico. And then also the dining room, he did a mural, 2 murals on that. And then Miss Volt, that's another muralist from Mexicali. She does more like, like hand mural, like stencil. Very cool. So that she did our whole kitchen, when you enter the restaurant. And then Bohms, he's another muralist from Mexicali. He did all our Catrinas on this wall and the skulls going to the restroom. So, good friends that I've met before. I've been a big fan of graffiti art and all that. So I thought it was just like super cool to have a little part of their work, in their restaurants.
Yeah, it's pretty cool that, there's 3 different ones that...
Yeah, and I'm a huge fan of their work, like super, super. I love what they do.
Okay, and I'll ask you, maybe they have Instagram, maybe we can tag them on Instagram. Sure. So anything else that, we didn't talk about that you would,
That's it.
Yeah?
Come visit us. You won't be disappointed. I hope Calexico in the Valley falls in love with this place. I fell in love with it, It was a lot of work. We did it from zero to finish. And, come visit us. You'll like it.
Yeah. And I was excited when I saw it because, like I said, that was something that I remember eating growing up. I mean, if it was 92, but then I remember like during my high school years, going to TacoMex. When we didn't go to Mexicali, we can go to TacoMex. And I was excited to see that you guys were opening again.
Yes.
And it's kind of crazy because like coming in, and I remember coming to this shopping center,
right?
And I think there was a shop here that sold clothes. I think back in the days, and it looks kind of small from the outside, but from the inside, I think you guys made a good job at taking advantage of the space and making it look like
we did like a hole on every wall, as you can see, and then we connected the whole both restaurants at once, like La Birria all the way to TacoMex, just different hours. The doors closed. 7 to 3 La Birria, and then we open TacoMex after that.
Okay.
So all day working.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. That's crazy. Yeah. I can only imagine. So the Birria also closes Mondays and Tuesdays?
Mondays and Tuesdays, yeah. So for now, we're keeping the same schedule, like the closing days. But like I said, we're going to pull up a schedule with the new hours, for sure.
Okay. All right. Well, I want to thank you again for accepting my invitation. I know it was a little bit last minute, but I did want to kind of talk to you before your opening because I know it was a soft opening, but just so that I can let people know that you're here, you guys are opening again, and the different concept that you guys are trying to bring
right
this time around with TacoMex, and wish you guys nothing but luck, and
thank you.
You'll see me around here
for sure.
All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for listening or watching, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.